everybody, welcome to the 𝐂𝐲𝐬𝐿 Way. Today's video is going to be a homeschool room tour. Now, before I get started showing you an in-depth look at our homeschool room, I just wanted to do like a few reminders. The first one is that you don't need a homeschool room. We have one, we love it, we store a lot of our stuff here. We actually rarely homeschool in the homeschool room. We homeschool everywhere else. So keep that in mind. The second thing is that you're going to see a lot of stuff. There's a lot of books, there's a lot of games, there's a lot of kits and subscription boxes and Legos, and there's a lot of stuff. That's how we prefer to homeschool. We like to homeschool with resources more so than curriculum. So you're actually not going to see any curriculum in the homeschool room. I keep that somewhere else, which I'll show you at the end, but it is a very small amount because the majority of what we use are things like books, games, subscription boxes, hands-on things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you and you're like, yes, sign me up, let's go ahead and do an in-depth deep dive into our homeschool room. Here is a quick overview of the entire room. It's kind of a long, skinny room, so this isn't easy. The first thing we have are our game shelves. Over here to the left is an IKEA trophy system with shelves instead of buckets. It's where I store any of our longer games that don't fit in the 𝐂𝐸, and then it's where I store our holiday games. I am actually going to have to pull all of my Christmas games out of storage, which is why those are all empty currently. Along the top, I use these photo boxes from Michael's to store our card games, our dice games, and our smaller games. So they store with 16 individual boxes. We have a math games, a word games, science games, social studies games, 2 that are full of Professor Noggins because those are some of our favorite. Then we have 2 that are full of top trumps. We have 1 that is a guess in 10 and trivia. We have 1 that's nothing but Game Right card games and Grandpa Beck card games. We have 2 that are card games, 1 that's dice games, and another one that is holiday game. The big unit is a 𝐂𝐸 5x5 from IKEA. On the top, we have our single player games. We have our 2-player games. And then we have our cooperative games. On the second row is where I am keeping our family fun games. This happens to be the perfect height for Emily, like eye level. So I decided to put all of our family fun games there. So when I send her down here to pick something, she's looking at the fun ones at eye level. The third row is a mixture of our language arts and then our math. The fourth row is our geography and history. And the fifth row is mostly science, nature, and art. Next, in this corner, this is where I'm storing most of our fiction books. Emily keeps the graphic novels in her bedroom. And then in these top bins that Kevin built for me is where I'm keeping all of our Usborne question and answer, lift the flap, and See Inside. So these are the Usborne books that Emily still wanted to keep. So we put them in these bins. That way I can change out which one is facing forward, giving her something new to pull from. And then, like I said, these are just kind of our fiction series, book club books, novel studies, all of our favorites. Over here is the desk area. So Kevin has a desk of his own, and then Emily and I kind of share the second desk. It's more hers than mine, but I sit there when I want to work. So up here is where Kevin keeps all of his works in progress. He has a printer, his iPad, a rolling cart with some more things. His drawers are just filled with all kinds of supplies. You know, like just stuff. Then his computer, a book stand, all of our acrylic paint, or most of our acrylic paint, and some paint brushes. This is like the stuff that he uses the most frequently. Emily's desk, that's where she stores her laptop, all of her Crunch Lab things. And then the same thing, this is actually my drawer. I get one drawer. But then the rest of the drawers are hers to do as she sees fit. So supplies, journals, all of the things. These bottom units are the 𝐂𝐴LEX units from IKEA. The chairs came from Amazon. And this is just an IKEA tabletop. It's two butted up together. Over here is kind of a mixture of things. So in these like bamboo drawers, Emily is currently storing all of her stuff for miniatures. This is all of her paint for her miniatures. It's something she's really into lately. Her brushes, and then all of her like palettes and the poppets that she also uses for palettes. And then these are some of the larger things that she has to paint that she hasn't yet. Supplies, miniatures that still need to be painted. She has a lot. Like most of these drawers are full of miniatures to paint. So that's what all of those are. Our globes, a ukulele that Kevin wants to paint. And then in this window is kind of the like science nature finds. So it's all of the things that we find on our nature walks. Binoculars so we can bird watch, a microscope. And then these bookshelves are most of my nonfiction in a perfect world. So we have all of our history and then our who, what, and where was books. This is the cabinet of ones that we've done mini studies for. So there are 3 deep. This is the ones we haven't yet. The second row is all of our science and nature. And then over here, our geography. And then Emily has a sewing cabinet. So when my mom comes to do sewing with her, they can just pull that out. This is a cart for science for when Kevin and Emily do science projects or science. They just pull that over to the table. Over here we have Emily's maker space. Over the years, this has kind of changed. It started as like a little bit of everything, and now it's pretty much Lego. These are all of the Legos that she hasn't done yet. Most of them she got for her birthday. And then I require like no rhyme or reason. This is her Lego space, so she can do whatever she wants. The only thing that I did help her with is pulling out all of the manuals, like the instruction manuals, and storing them because she has a lot of the 3-in-1, and that way she could build them as something else. Otherwise, I don't know what kind of organization she has, and I let it be. She uses this shelf and the top of this for display. She has these adorable mini figure frames that we just got for her. She's currently building, I think this is a Da Vinci. Yes, she's currently building Da Vinci. And then, like I said, this is the TroFast system from IKEA, and she can do whatever she wants. Like this one I think is mostly base plates. It looks like this is her new magnetic building cubes. That is, I think, the only thing over here that's not Lego anymore. But whatever her organization system is, it's hers to do with what she will, as long as she's still utilizing it and not having meltdowns when it comes time to build a Lego. I'm good. Okay, over here, this shelf is where we store the majority of like our subscriptions, our STEAM kits, our art, all of the things that we typically do down here as a family or when Kevin does STEAM with Emily. And this table currently is pushed all the way up against the shelving unit. But whenever we're going to do something, we just pull it out into the middle of the room. At the very top is where Emily likes to display all of her like 3D anatomy animals. Then the first row is all of the kind of like science kits, boxes, STEM activities that they have to do. The second row is mostly subscription boxes that they have hoarded that are waiting to be done, or some that they enjoyed enough that they want to do a second time, because like a lot of the Mel kits come with enough things to do more than once. Kevin keeps all of like the science odds and end things in these drawers. So, and then sometimes extra paint, just stuff. This is all of our art. So we have easels, some art how-to And then these boxes have like our watercolor basics, our color pencils, our sketching supplies, paint markers, paint palettes. I'm not even sure. I think these are the scrapbook containers. They're like the 12 by 12. They fit perfect, so I can fit 4 of them. And then actually you can even stand one up behind. So I have a spare one. Oh, I'm going to drop them. But there's a spare one standing up behind them. So technically you could fit 5 in there. Over here we have all of our like sketchbooks, watercolor books, kind of all of the extra books, extra canvases, just extra blank things. The next row is currently D&D. So it's all the D&D starter kits and the tiles. This is like dice and specific games or campaigns that they're currently working on. And then all of their D&D books. And then same thing down here is just more like art supply, art stuff, science stuff that we weren't ready to get rid of yet, like old unit study things. You can see that's for our survival unit study, just things. Told you I would show you where we keep our curriculum. So this is our dining room table, and behind it we have an antique dresser, and on the sides we have 2 small shelving units. On the top of the right side is a bin where I keep my homeschool planner and whatever curriculum we are currently using. So this is going to be what you saw in our 8th grade curriculum picks, as well as our fall homeschool plans. She also has her calculator in here, clipboard, just kind of those things. On this shelf, we have like all of our writing kind of reference books, our journals, those types of things. This basket is my work basket. So my label maker, our sprocket, a timer that's now going to go off. I keep my camera in here. Across the top here, we have our discovery decks that we're working through currently. Our caddy with our most used supplies, so alcohol markers, flare pens, color pencils, Sharpies, pencils and pens. A short stack of games that I like to strew each week in kind of like hopes that we might play them. I find that if we have them out in our line of sight, we're more likely to do that. Our letter subscriptions, so this is ones that we either haven't read or some of our favorites that we wanted to return to. In this, I keep my favorite Post-it tabs, a stapler, like little book magnets, pencil sharpener, just like quick things that we want to be able to get our hands on. Our scrunch maps, dice. This has our small little address book, our return address, stamps. And then the bin on the other side is where I keep our unit study materials. So our Kane Chronicle books, and then all of our Egypt books currently are stored here. Below that is where I like to keep some of our reference books to get our hands on them very quickly. So the Children's Encyclopedia, and then we have the Usborne Encyclopedia of Science, History, and Geography, so things we could reference in a hurry. And then this basket, I like to keep quick play games that play well with 2 players. So we have Battleship, Cobra Paw, all of our different versions of Spot It. That way, if we have a few minutes or Emily needs a brain break, I can quickly pull a game without having to go to the homeschool room.